I can't stand it when I see kids that are making 70 grand a year spending $28 for lunch. I mean, that's just stupid. It's just, think about that in the context of that being put into an index and making 8 to 10% a year for the next 50 years. The best test I do with my kids' friends too, go into a closet, go into your closet and look at how much shit you have you don't wear. Because you either bought it because you thought you were going to wear it and never wore it or wore it once, and you end up wearing 20% of your portfolio all of the time and 80% you pissed away. I mean, that's really stupid. And so for a young person, a young woman or man, don't do that.
So I do agree with Kevin O'Leary here, first of all, because I think what he's saying is that there is no real sound financial education. Now, I don't necessarily agree to go stick it in an index fund instead of foregoing lunch, but the reality is lunch is going to cost something, whether it's $28 or half that or whatever. There's still going to be a cost there. But his point of what's in the closet and what people buy and what people spend their money on is spot on. The real issue here is that people are not financially disciplined at all. What they should do is they should invest, then spend, instead of spend, then invest. Because typically what they do is they spend and they don't have any money left over. But he has got a hell of a point where anybody who makes that kind of salary is spending $28 or $30 for a lunch. That stuff adds up. So if they do that as a matter of habit, they're spending $500 or $600 a month in just lunch. Now, we're not talking about breakfast or dinner. And I'm telling you right now, if they're spending $28 for lunch, they're probably overspending for breakfast and dinner as well. They're probably not managing any of their finances hardly at all. This is a discipline problem and a financial education problem.
What's the best finance advice you've ever got?
Save $20 a day. 20 a day times 365, 7,003. A year times 2 years, 14,006. 3 years, 21,009. 10 years, 73,000. Compound interest, 78 grand. Save 20 a day, and you always keep broke away. The reason why people don't have money is not how much money you get paid, it's how much money you save. I know people who work McDonald's minimum wage, and they make more money than people make $40 an hour because they understand where they at. So they save trying to get higher. And then the people who make more money, they spend more money, and they get more habits. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hey, good luck, good life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you gotta save money. Without saving money, you got nothing to invest. That makes sense?
Yeah. That was some good advice.
So this guy almost has it right. Like 78 grand over 10 years. Come on, $20 a day. Now, I do love the philosophy of saving. I do believe in that. But one huge component that he left out was inflation. And obviously what's happening to the US dollar. What's $78,000 worth in 10 years? I think that's the real question. What was $78,000 worth 10 years ago? And I think all you have to do is calculate inflation. And right now, we all know that inflation is 2, 3, 4%. So we'll just say 3% over 30 years. That is, of course, 30%. That $78,000 is worth somewhere around $50,000 because of inflation. Because inflation is going to erode that $78,000 over a 10-year period. The right way to do it, and he's almost right, is to save that money and then invest it faster than inflation. That's the piece that he's missing, because he's right about being disciplined around the savings, but he's not right about sticking it into a savings account, because it's not going to be worth $78,000 later. So just think, when I was a kid, $20, of course, that was a lot of money. Now $20 is nothing. Now everybody has hundreds in their wallet. And the reason? Inflation. So the money is eroding over time due to inflation, especially with all these tariffs and everything that we've got coming up. We don't know where inflation is heading. So saving $20, a good strategy. What you do with that $20, not necessarily a great advice here. It has to be invested at a higher percentage than inflation just to keep up.
There's good debt and bad debt. Good debt is debt that somebody else pays off for you. So when I buy an apartment house with my friend Kenny, I don't pay for it. The bank lends us the money, and debt is tax-free. So let's say we put $1 million down to buy a $5 million apartment house. So we now have a $5 million asset, and our tenants pay for that. That's good debt. But I take out my credit card to go eat sushi, that's bad debt because I got to pay for it. And it's that simple. So, you know, when people talk to their children and they say, look, is that good debt or bad debt? It forces them to think.
So I'm his friend Kenny, the one he mentions here. And of course, this is exactly what we teach. The interesting thing is I was actually at this interview. This is with Ben Shapiro. And we talked about this right before. So everything that Robert said came straight from me. I'm just kidding, Robert. I'm just kidding, Robert. No, but the reality is this is actually how we make money. We use equity and we use debt to buy hard assets, and then our tenants pay it off, and inflation does its thing.
1 to 10 ways of making money with real estate. Number 1, flipping houses.
9.
But why, motherfucker? You have to say why.
Because you can make fast money.
Number 2, rental properties long term.
3, because it's a long-term grave.
3, short-term rentals, Airbnb, VRBO.
0,
4, wholesaling.
14.
Why?
If you do it right. Fast, real fast money.
Real estate investment trusts, REITs.
1, reliant on other people. Long-term game.
Commercial property leasing.
To lease them? What the fuck are you doing with commercial properties? I don't fucking know. 1.
House hacking.
10. Great way to get into the business.
8, real estate development.
If you know what the fuck you're doing, 10.
If you don't know.
1. You're gonna get fucked.
9, private lending.
1. If you don't know what you're doing.
If you know what you're doing.
10. Because you can make a ton of money.
Land flipping or leasing.
Land flipping, 12 out of 10. Land leasing, 9. No upkeep, there's nothing to fucking do. You're just collecting money every month. Fantastic business.
So this guy's all over the map, but I can tell you exactly who he is. He's a short-term real estate guy. Like he believes in flipping, house hacking, wholesaling, things that turn a quick profit, quick buck. Now, most of the world is set up with guys like this. That's the exact opposite of what we teach. What I teach and what he doesn't figured out yet is you get massive, massive tax benefits and cash flow. The problem with selling something like a flip is you got to do it again, and you got to do it again, and you got to do it again. And so you have to time the markets perfectly. Now, a lot of the things that he's discussing here are good skills to know. I'll grant him that. But it's not going to get you wealthy at all. These are transactions. That's all they are. They're transactions. Real estate should be thought of as a business, a long-term business with long-term tenants that pay off your debt, and you pay little to no taxes because the IRS gives you those kinds of tax breaks. So you have passive income, cash flow, you let inflation do its thing, and you use other people's money. None of that was mentioned. These are basically just quick hits, no different than buying and selling stock.
Buying a house